I'm Dave Combs, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about my music background, which today is not great. But in my early years as a young boy, my mother and father didn't play instruments, nor do I know that they ever sang a song or in a choir or any of that type of music in their background. But they wanted to ensure that not only I, but my two sisters, Gloria, which is 3 years older, and Catherine, a year and 3 months younger, that the three of us were musically inclined or adept, or we were able to read and write music. So every Saturday morning, my two sisters and I, we would end up going to a music studio in Richmond, Indiana, half a day roughly, and we'd take theory lessons, learn all about the great composers, learn to play piano. Everything was on the piano. And we did that every Saturday morning. So we learned to play the piano, every one of us. And as we aged a little bit and got closer to like the 5th grade, somewhere around there, 4th, 5th grade, we were allowed to pick another instrument if we wished to play a different instrument. And I remember my sister Gloria playing the violin, or that's the instrument she picked. I picked the trumpet and started playing and learning the trumpet, as well as still playing the piano at that time in my life. And then my sister Catherine, she picked the French horn. And the three of us were pretty musically inclined. We also sang in choirs in school. I played in the orchestra in junior high school. I remember one time in the 6th grade with a PTA meeting, I played a trumpet solo, Love Me Tender by Elvis Presley. I played a solo for the 6th grade PTA. And then I went on, like I said, to junior high school and high school. Now, as I got a little older, I sang in choirs, the church choir at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. I also sang in choir at school. But as I went off to join the United States Navy, we got off at the recruiting station in Great Lakes, and the first thing they ask us, all of us, is, does anybody play an instrument, or does anybody sing, or do both? And I raised my hand along with several others, and they pulled us to the side and asked, what do you like to do best? And I said, well, I play a trumpet and I sing. And they said, well, you can't pick them both, so which one would you prefer to do, play a trumpet or sing? And I said, I'd prefer to sing. So I went off with a group of young men to a building where there was a man, Carl Sandager. I didn't know who he was other than I remember his name, but at that time I didn't know who he was. And he called me up and he said, what do you sing? And I said, tenor. And he said, okay, I'm going to play Home on a Range. I'll play all the different parts of Home on a Range, the full accompaniment of the whole song. And you follow your own lines, read your music, and follow the tenor line. And so I did, and then he said, go sit here. Kind of long story short, I was selected to be part of the second largest Navy choir, which is called the Blue Jackets Choir. And what we did was sing our way through boot camp. We didn't have to do the same thing other people did in boot camp. They went down to do the drills, the obstacle courses, do all kinds of things. And we went to sing, and then we would sing for different places throughout mostly the central part of the United States. And we were a very small group, about 25 of us. Anyway, after boot camp, after moving on, I quit playing the trumpet basically, and I quit singing until I got to a station base that I was stationed at in Lakehurst, New Jersey. And when I was stationed there, they needed somebody to play taps when the soldiers and sailors and whomever in the service came back from Vietnam and were being buried. They needed somebody to be able to play taps. So I stepped up and they selected me to be the one who played taps, and I'd stand off in the cemetery to a remote area, and when it was the appropriate time I would play taps, and I did that for a couple years, and then that I think ended my music career. I still goof off once in a while, and I mean goof off, playing on a harmonica. And hopefully, as Fox might be seeing this, my little grandson, I've given him 2 harmonicas, and he plays them around the house and enjoys kind of playing them. He's getting a little creative in playing. Of course, he's only about 2 years old at this present time, but he's having a lot of fun with it. And hopefully, down the road, he will turn into a musician of some type that plays maybe harmonica or some other instrument and excels at it. Anyway, that's my musical background.